create a database, you need to install uh, XAMPP server in your system, right? So you just need to go to the professional website, that is jfriends.org, right? So this is the official website where you can download XAMPP server from this. Go to the download menu option and click on this, and here is a list where you can see that some XAMPP versions you can download one of them as per your needs, right? As per your system configuration. If you are using Windows operating system, so you can download from here, and if you are using Linux, right, so you need to download from here, right? If you are using Mac operating system, so just you can download from here, right? So I am using Windows operating system, and I have already installed XAMPP server, right? So I just open it by click on this icon, right? This is the window where you have to start Apache and MySQL server, right? So we will work on MySQL server, but you just need to start MySQL. You have to start Apache as well, right? Now click on admin button to create a database, right? So first of all, we will create a database in our XAMPP server, right? Go to the SQL option where you can write SQL query. As I have already told you about how to write, how to create a database in the server, right? So we have already discussed in our lecture. Now, simple, create a database, right? Why we are creating database? Because when we will make a program in Python, we just need to import, or we just need to give the name of the database where you want to create your, where you will create your table in the database, right? So from there, we will create tables, and the table will be created there in the database, right? So you just need to create a database, create database name student, SN. We just need to create a database name, can be anything, SMS, which means school management system, right? Is it clear? The name is clear.
Yes.
This is the short meaning, which means school management system, right? Now execute this. Wait. By click on go button, right? Now you can see that your, now refresh your this panel, and your database has been created in this XAMPP server. Now the second step is what? We just need to install some library, right? You just need to install MySQL client module in the Python IDE, right? Put this, you have to click on file menu, just click on open option, where the dialog box will be open, and click here and copy this address. Now, after this, close this dialog box and open the file explorer, right? And now paste this address and click on and hit the enter key, right? Here you will see that a folder with name is script. Now go to the script folder, and now at this time enter your cursor here and copy this address too, right? And just close this dialog box and open the run command by pressing shortcut key, that is Windows plus R as well, right? So now type cmd. This is the command from where you will have to paste the address which you have copied, right? And now click on, now hit enter button, right? Oh, sorry, you can also just to open the file explorer and paste this address here. Okay, now write cmd, and where you will see this is the IDLE shell, right? Python shell, where you have to write a command that is pip install my SQL client, right? To install this module in the Python IDE. I have already installed, so I don't need to install it again, right? Just copy this and write this command, write this simple command, pip install my SQL client. After that, hit the enter key, and now this module has been installed in the Python IDE. And now the second step is what we just need to install one more module, that is my SQL hyphen connector hyphen Python, and just hit the enter key. This module will be installed in the Python IDE. Is it clear? These two modules we have to install in Python IDE to connect with the database, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now just open up Python file and see it on the desktop. Give any name to the file. DB is database, and .py. A file has been created. Now write a program to import my SQL module. You have to write import my SQL dot connector, right? Now create an object that is con is the connection object, and you can give the short name as SQLCOR, right? You can give any short name. You don't need, you can pass a short code, right? So just pass SQL COR. Now you don't need to write this completely, right? So SQL COR dot connect. Connect is the method in the MySQL library. This is the module where you have to call connector method, which contains sub method that is connected, right? Now open parenthesis, you just need to pass some argument inside it, right? Now first of all, user comma root. This will be your username of your database. If you keep your database name, then you have to pass. In case of if you don't give your database name, then the name of the database is root by default, right? So now the next parameter is for password. If you give any password or receive any password of your database, then you have to pass inside this code. If you don't give any password to the database, so you don't need to pass any password inside it. You just give the blank space, right? So now the next parameter is host, where your database is installed, right? So you can pass local host here because we have installed database in our local machine. If you are having your database on some other machine, so just pass the address of that machine here. You can also pass the IP address here, right? Now the next parameter is port, where you have to pass 3306, right? 3306 is the port number of the database. This is already pegged port RAM server, right? If you set any other name of your any other port of your database, so you just need to pass your port number here in place of this, right? So I set this number by default, right? So I'm passing this port number 3306, right? Now you just need to pass here setting, right? That is UTF-8, and the last parameter that is DB. What what is your database name? By what name or database we have created?
SMS.
Yes, SMS, right? So just pass the database name here, right? With the property DB. Is it clear? These are the
Yes.
properties which we have to pass inside the connect method, right? Now, if all the parameters are correct, so just check if your connection established or not. If connection dot is connected, it's the method to check if connection is established or not. If this connection is established, that send the true value, which you have to compare true keyword. If the connection is established, that will send the true. This method will send the true value that will compare by true method. And if the condition is meet, so now we can bring the method connection tablet, right? If you find any error, so that means the connection will not be established and the else log will be executed. There you can give a short message that is unable to connect. Is clear?
Yes.
Now run this program. If the connection is correct, so this code is correct, so that means the connection will be established. Otherwise, we need to connect, right? Now, we have given connection established. That means the connection has been established with the database. Is it clear?
Yes.
This is the simple program to establish the connection with the Python language. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now create a table inside the database. You can create your table from here, like we take a variable that is q. Q means query, where we will write a query and will be stored in the variable q. Right? Now write the query to create a table. Create table. Table name student info. Right? You can give a short name of the table, that is student info. Right? Now create a field in this table, SID, that will contain integer value, name that will contain text value, and here the size of characters, how the length of your name is. That can be 50 characters, right? So you can pass up to 255, right? Now mobile, right here 20, country, right here 20, right? So this is very simple query which we have written in variable here, right? So now create an object of cursor equal to connection dot cursor. We are creating the cursor object. just need to create an object to execute this query. By cursor method, we just need to call execute method, right? So we have to create cursor object first, right? So now cursor by cursor object, you can rightly call execute method where you have to pass your query inside this execute method, right? So now your method that is either has been okay. Now after this, close the cursor object. Dot close and close connection by close method. Remember this. After after making an object of cursor, you have to close this cursor method, and you just need to close the connection. Right now, if this code is right or correct, then you will get a message that is table has been created. Right now, I execute this program. Connection established and table has been created. Clear? And you can check your table created or not. Now reference this database and expand your database where you will see the table has been created in the SMS database, right? And now click on this table where you will see all the field names or column names inside this table. We have created 4 fields in the table. Table name is what? Student underscore name, right? Now, the second thing is we will insert some records in this table, right? Now, make this line comment because now we don't need to create or execute these lines again. So just remove this code, or you can make comment all these lines. Now copy these lines and paste it here and just change your query to insert your record in the table. What is the query of inserting the record in the table? Insert into table name. Table name is what? Should underscore ID value, and now inside the parenthesis, pass the value here. First value is what? Student ID. That will be integer value, and the second thing is the name of the student, like John. Which we have to pass inside the single quote, right? Now the next value is what? Pass this mobile number here the last value was continue. Right. So after this, do one more thing. After this, closing cursor object, we just need to write connection dot connect. Right? We just add this statement after the closing cursor object. Right? Because we are just inserting the record in the table. So you pass you you will pass connection dot connect, which was as the committing of your query, right? So now execute this program. What happens? Oh, if you are passing a single code, right? In your query, you just need to pass, or you just write your query surrounded by double quote. Okay. Okay. So clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in this message record has been inserted. Execute this program. Okay, what should ID? It should ID. Oh, sorry. Or TB name is student info, and I have written should ID. Just leave the table name should info. Right now, execute this program. See this record has been inserted. Now you can check in your database. After this, page, you will see that one record has been inserted in the table, right? John, mobile number, and convenience area on ID 1. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So you can also take some input from the user and insert into database, right? Let's see how to take input from the user. So we just need to write and we just need to take 4 values from the user, right? The first one is student ID and the second one is student name and his mobile number or the country name, right? So take 4 variables, SID, insert, enter, ID. Means your mobile mobile. One is the TV. Right? These inputs we are taking from users, right? Now, by using format method, right? We just need to pass all the variables which contain some value from user inside this parenthesis SID. And what else? Mobile, right? And this method also supports indexing, right? So SID is at what position? SID is at what position? What index position? How many?
0.
Okay, 0, and the next parameter is at one position, and next to next 2 and 3, right? And so on.
Yeah.
So that means what we have to do now, pass content placeholder inside in place of value, right? This is very simple thing which we have to do. Okay, so first value from variable SID will be sent to the first content placeholder, and second value will be sent from name to the second content placeholder, and so on, right? So in that way, we can take input from the user and store into the data. This is the dynamic program, right? We are taking some input from user and store it into the database, right? Now, do one more thing, that is while we are applying a loop that is while, and we are we want this loop as infinite loop, right? So that's why I have written true. That means while loop will be executed infinite time until it gets stopped, right? So now give the indentation by one test that all codes will come in this right. So we are taking some multiple inputs from user, so until this loop gets stopped, right? Now and take one more variable, that is TX, to input choice, user choice. Give a message to you on add more record. Yes, no. If user enters yes, then this loop will take input. If user enters no, that means that loop will be terminated by break keyword. So what this break keyword is doing? This break keyword gives the break to while loop, right? So if user enters no, so that means that loop will be terminated, right? So that loop will not be asked more for more record, right? So now give a message print record has been created, record has been inserted. Okay. Inserted. Now cursor dot root connection dot commit all the things are correct and connection dot root. Each thing which we have to do by inserting the record in the table. Now execute this code and give the ID 2 and from while number is what right. So this is asking if you want to add more records. Yes, if you enter here, so that means input will take one more time, 3 and myself and Russia, right? So now you enter no, that means the loop has been terminated and the record will be inserted. Okay, so now check the record from the table. Student info. Now refresh this table. So all the record has been inserted in the table. Is it clear? This is the dynamic program where you are expecting some input from the user and store it into database. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. You can also display all the records from the table. Now make this these lines as a comment. Now write another code to display all the records from the table. Right? So just copy these 3 lines and paste these lines here. Now change the query. Select abstract from table name. Table name is what? Table name is what? info. Please remember this table name, right?
Ah,
So now make an object of cursor method, and by using cursor object, call the execute method to execute this query, right? And all the records sent from the table sent to this variable, right? Now what next you have to do? Apply a loop and catch the record from this cursor variable one by one, right? Now you can print all the records in that way. Right? Execute this command or execute this program, right? So all the records have been displayed on your screen. Is it clear?
yes.
Okay. We can also to indexing to want to access only the name from the table. So name will be mistake. But by this query, you are accessing all the records from the table, right? But by this loop, you are only displaying the name column, right? So because we are just doing indexing. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. If suppose that if you write this statement, so all the records from the table, each tuple, tuple is what in the table? Tuple is one record of the table that all the values will return in a tuple, right? So that means each row will return in the tuple, right? So we can also do formatting. Suppose that I0, I1, I2, and I3, right? Now we have done indexing. So all the records have been formatted. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now write a code to accept an ID of user of a student from the user and delete accordingly. Right? Copy these lines and paste it here. And ID input enter delete record. Right. That is format. Password parameter inside this method. And now delete from good info and here the condition. Obviously, it doesn't pass condition with the sleep command, and we are passing only these commands, right? So that means you will be lost your data complete from the data. We just need to pass a condition where S I is user will enter the ID that will send to the trace order. That means where the student ID is the that on this ID the data will be deleted, right? The cursor would be dot gone. This is dot execute. This is the C code for selecting the now give a short message. That is record has been deleted. Okay, let's take multiple time input to delete multiple record if user wants, right? Here and enter choice. On delete or here user wants no. Yes, not upper equal no. That loop will be terminated and a message will be shown that the record has been deleted. Okay, now execute this program. So the error here. Oh, sorry. Remove this line. Okay, copy line of code one more time before deleting the record. Here, first of all the records will be displayed from the table, and after this line of code, your record will be deleted from the table by this lines of code. And after this, rest of records will be displayed on the table, right? So if this program connection is established, these are the records on the table and enter student ID to delete the record. Suppose that I want to delete the record on student ID 1. So that means that will be asked, you want to delete more records? If I say no, so that means the loop will be terminated. Here clause SID. Okay, so that the same is giving some on SID. So sector ID field means, oh sorry, SID field means oh we are passing underscore. So even we have created without underscore. Now enter 1. So you want to delete more record. I think record has been deleted and all the rest of records have been displayed on your screen. Is it clear?
Yes.
No, any confusion? You can ask me if you are having any doubt. For entire school, you are having any doubt from
No doubt.
starting. Are you sure about this? You don't have any doubt?
Yes, sir, I think it's everything is okay. All clear.
Okay, all the things are very clear,
Yes.
or any confusion in any line of code?
Confusion.
You don't have? Okay. Now write one more code to search the record from the table, right? Copy this line of code and paste it here. Okay, so student ID, which will be asked by user. What ID you want to search? On what ID you want to search the record, right? So user will enter the ID and select pick from should info where student ID, whatever user enters here. And just copy these two lines to. Okay, now include this. One more thing you have to do, that is try what is that keyword is doing. Um, if your ID is present in the table that returns the record on this table on that ID, right? So if your ID does not present in the table, that will generate an error, and that error will be sent to the except keyword, and except keyword will handle the error by this method, by this uh, statement. Record does not exist, right? So if your record does not exist, so that try keyword will generate an error, and that error will be sent to the except block, right? And except block will be handle uh, your error by this method. Suppose that if the record not present in the table, right? The student ID. Okay, one more thing to search record, right? Now enter ID 2. So a record has been sent on ID 2, right? Complete record has been sent on ID 2. If I have already deleted the record on this ID, so that means the record does not exist on this ID. So an error will generate by try block, and that error will be sent to the except, and except keyword or except block will handle that error by a message that is, oh, let me try accept. Try accept. Right? So that means say record or why is not showing the error accept. Okay, you can do one more thing, that is take one variable that is found and assign a value that is 0. we just give here L L and then the method, right? Okay, now you need to apply, try and get. Okay, now let me show the code on the by the one. So that means record does not exist. Okay, so if I search record ID number two, record 20 and okay, is equal to 0. Okay, if record is present, then wow, one. So that means take the value of variable found one in case of 0, so the record is found. Okay. Found equal to 0. That means record does not found. Record does not found. Right. So here is the code. Code is working now. Okay. What we have to do here, we just take one variable that is found and initialize a value 0, right? Now the by loop, by for loop, catch the records from the variable cursor one by one. If the record is found, the value will be changed 0 to 1. If the record is not found, that means the block will not be executed and the value of found will remain same. And if the value found is equal to 0, that means the record does not exist. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have created our first project, Python with database, right? With the connectivity. So in that way, we can take input from the user. We can update record. One more query is there for updating, right? So we will implement in the project in the next lecture, right? So in that way, we can delete, search, and insert record into the database by taking some input from the user, right? So this is the dynamic project where you are taking some inputs, and as per your needs, you change the values and store into the database, right? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In the next lecture, we will write one more query, that is to update the record in the table, right? After that query, we will create one more project that will be based on CSV module, right? So where we will take the same thing from the user, and now we will move the final project, that is quiz, right? So we will make a project on quiz where we will insert some questions and its options there, and uh, do and will do some more things on that project, right? We will make quiz project in the next lecture. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, all okay, okay.
Okay. Now the time is over. I end this session. So thank you very much. Hope you understand all the lectures, all the entire course which we have discussed today in this lecture. And I'll share this entire course to the group, right? Where you can find this attachment from there, right? So thank you very much.